Storiez. All right, y'all. It's your boy Behind Man, better than highly intelligent. I'm back with the legend again. About to dive back into this life of a Winston-Salem legend. Today, we're going to take it all the way back again. I want you to tell me about the day Caswell County.
Caswell County. That's where I was born, in Caswell County. I was born in Caswell County on a farm, sharecropping farm. My daddy was a slave, and he was a sharecropper. And my mama and her husband was a sharecropper. And when my house got burned up, my sister got burned real bad. And the only hospital that was in this area was Cape Bennett Hospital. They had a man named Dr. Malloy that did skin drafting. And my sister was burnt real bad, so we brought her here to Winston-Salem. And he got her straight, did a skin drafting thing.
Okay, well, tell me about that day. How did that day go? Can you remember that?
The house got on fire?
Yeah.
I remember vaguely. I wasn't even old enough to go to school. I was about 5 years old when the house burned up. And
I knew you was that young.
yeah, I remember good. Okay. My sister, we living in the country.
How was that day going? Like, was it
I was a little boy. I wasn't even old enough to go to school.
It was a cold day, huh?
Let's see. It was about in the September, October, somewhere in there.
Okay.
Yeah, that's when it happened.
Okay.
Yeah, and she threw some kerosene in an old stove. Boom! Blowed up, set the house on fire, and everybody ran out the house.
How many people was in there?
It was, let's see, my 2 sisters, 2 brothers, and me. 5 of us. 6 of us with my mama.
So when she threw it in there, the fire came out.
You know the old stoves, where you put coal and wood in them?
Okay.
And sometimes it just be a little spark down there, and you can throw a little kerosene on it, and it bloom up, and then you throw more logs on it. But it blew up. Boom! She put too much in there, and it boom! Set the house on fire.
So it burned her?
Yeah, it burned her real bad. She burnt down her whole left arm and burnt the side of her face. But Dr. Malloy did the skin drafting and kind of saved her features on her face. Yeah.
Anybody else get burnt?
She got burned the baddest. Like me, all my hair got burned off. My sister's hair got burned off. Everybody's hair got burned off that ran out of the house, because you got to run through the flame to get out of the house. And all of us hair got burned off. Yeah, you talking about in the 50s.
Yeah.
People in the country, they burn wood, fireplace and stuff like that,
Yeah.
In order to, get the flame going real good, they pour a little kerosene in there.
So what y'all do that night?
That night right there, you never get no fire truck or nothing. The house just burnt down. It just burnt down. We got everybody out the house.
You try to put it out on that, it was just too big.
What could you put it out with? We living in the country, you got to go to the well to get water.
Oh, yeah.
You talking about, I'm 83, Lord. We talking about 60 years ago.
So, damn. So wasn't even no phones to try to call no fire truck or nothing like that?
No, ain't no phones in no country. You a sharecropper. Hey, you got to get you a mule or something to ride to the next person. Next person close to us was about 2 miles, and they was white. We talking about in the 50s.
Yeah.
Early 50s.
They wasn't about to help y'all anyway.
No. They wasn't about to help nobody.
So the land that y'all was staying on was the sharecropping land?
It was a sharecropping land.
Okay. So the person who owned it, what they say about the house burning down? You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. About 2 or 3 years later, they rebuilt the house and brought another sharecropper in there. But it wasn't us, because my family had come to Wilson because Cape Bennett was the only hospital that did skin draft. Yeah, that was only black hospital at that time in the whole state of North Carolina. Yeah, Baptist Hospital.
Yeah. And was the, you said Malloy?
Yeah, Dr. Malloy. Used to live out there on 311 up on the hill with that big white house.
Okay.
Back then. But he died, his son.
Is he a black man or a white man?
Black man.
A black man?
Black man was the first man that did skin drafting in the South, period.
So people came from all over the country?
Came all over the country to get skin drafted.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, you were. That's how we came to Winston.
I always, it was always like, it was something special about going there. But
Yeah.
I ain't never know, being my age, I ain't never know what it was. You know what I'm saying?
Baptist
I just knew
Hospital.
that's the only place we could go to.
Yeah. When you was little, yeah. When y'all was little, things was starting. They had changed a lot during your time.
So tell me about a day in sharecropping. How did that work?
Well, a sharecropper was a person that, after slavery, white people made you a sharecropper. In other words, they gave you a piece of land, let you grow tobacco, corn, or whatever you did. You could take enough out of it to support yourself. And then like tobacco, this was the tobacco belt. So they would hang tobacco in them big barns and smoke it until it turned brown. Then they bring it to Winston-Salem and sell it to R.J. Reynolds. And that's how my grandpa and them made their living, as a sharecropper raising tobacco. You go a little further south, they did the same thing with cotton. You see? I know about North Carolina and South Carolina.
Okay.
South Carolina did more cotton, North Carolina did tobacco. Yeah.
Yeah, all the cigarettes.
Yeah. They started rooms. They started rooms right here. I remember when I was a little boy, we'd go down 5th Street, that menthol that made them cigarettes, Salem cigarettes, man, that menthol was so strong. We used to, as little kids, we used to walk through there just to get high. You walk through there and smell that menthol, you just be so relaxed.
Okay, so
they used to run us away from down there. Yeah, we were little.
So once he grow the tobacco, you say y'all used to take it to like Burlington, different places like that?
Yeah, you had to grow it. You had to put it in these big barns and stick a fire to it, and it'd be hanging up in this loft, and you roast it till it turns the colors. Like the real good tobacco, it would like, that's what they made the top cigarettes out of. The old tobacco, they used to use that to make snuff and cigars and stuff like that. But the real gold tobacco and stuff, Reynolds bought that. That's what they made cigarettes out of.
So, you said it's your granddaddy, right?
Yeah, it was my granddad.
So when he took it and sold it,
he didn't sell it. My granddad didn't sell it.
Oh, he did?
No, he didn't. My granddad never owned it. He was a sharecropper. Sharecropper, the white man owned the land. You just shared the land, and you produce a crop.
So he just.
Yeah, you gave him a percentage for using the land. He let you keep the rest, and that's how my granddad fed his family. Okay. We had a big seed stores and stuff, where the white man would let him have credit all the way up until he sell his tobacco. Once he sell his tobacco, Papa would have to pay him. Sometimes Papa would owe them almost as much as we made, because we had to eat during the time, when he was raising tobacco. That was a sharecropper. That's how I grew up. My parents were sharecroppers.
So your granddaddy was born a slave, but when he was young.
He was about 6 or 7 years old when the emancipation came. Okay. He was free. He became free when he was a little boy. But he used to tell us the story about his daddy. His daddy was a slave. My granddaddy's daddy was a slave. He was born as a slave. But when he got 6 or 7 years old, somewhere in
the stories he told you?
Huh?
What's one of the stories he told you about your...
The best story he told me about was when his uncle or aunt or something was slaves, and they went through these swamps and shit and went north. They used to tell us about them stories. We used to sit there. I was a little boy. All the elders used to sit around the fire. They used to drink that white liquor and tell all them slave stories.
Who made the white liquor?
My granddaddy was the best. he passed it on down to my brother. I know that. They sold a lot of white liquor in North Carolina back then. That was the thing, white liquor. White lightning, they called it.
Okay, well, how many brothers and sisters did you have?
I had, it was 3 boys and 3 girls. I was the youngest of all.
You the youngest?
I'm the youngest. Mm-hmm. My brother, named John Warren, he was the oldest. My name was Herbert Warren then. I was the youngest. Had another brother and 2 more sisters. 3 sisters, really.
Is anybody still alive?
Just me.
Just you?
Yeah. I'm the only one living. No, my next to the oldest sister, she lived. Okay. Yeah, she lived.
Next to the oldest? Next
to the oldest sister lived.
She want to start the fire?
Yeah, she want to start the fire. Me and her still live.
Okay. So that's what your granny, what did your grandma do?
My grandma, she was a good wife. My granddad was like he was a man that believed in the principles, man run the house. Old people back in them days, they respected the elders more than they do now. So he was a man, he was Papa, that we called him Papa, He was responsible for the whole thing,
You tall like you?
I got a picture down the store, I don't know. I can't really say, because I was such small then, I can't really say. But I know he was tall and kind of thin like I am.
Yeah.
You can look at the old pictures and you can see that.
So, those nights right after the house burned, where y'all stay?
At that time, my oldest brother had became a sharecropper on some land that was about, say you walk downtown. You could walk from my mama's house to his house, like from here downtown, about that far. So, we go to the brother house, we just get on the path and walk to the brother house,
And
or catch the mule or whatever.
That's a different person?
My brother?
No, I mean, a different person owned the land that your brother was on?
No, the same man owned the land that we were sharecropping with, and another person that was staying where my brother moved to, he died. So the white man let my oldest brother become the sharecropper in that area, gave him the house and everything. Them houses went for nickel then, just roof over your head.
Yeah. So y'all stayed there for a while? I mean, your whole family stayed with
No, when the house burned up, all the ambulance, not the ambulance, but the neighborhoods, all of them come, try to put the house out. Then after my sister got burnt, you finally got, it wasn't an ambulance then, it was something else that come to pick up black folks. And they picked her up, and they took her to the hospital in Burlington, but no doctor there knew anything about no skin drafter. The only person that was recognized as a skin drafter at that time was Dr. Malloy. And he was located at Baptist Hospital right there.
So, something like that, it costs a lot of money. So, the insurance or whatever.
Back in them days, yeah, I don't know.
So, I mean, what made the, why did he help her? Why did he, you know what I'm saying, being there, I know skin grafting cost a whole lot of money.
Yeah, it costs a lot of money, but
they just help people back then?
No, what happened was, Dr. Malloy used my mama as a guinea pig. to expand his stuff. So when he worked on my sister, shit, after that, he got more business he could handle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And that skin draft. Because he was the first doctor that brought the skin drafting in, a black man. Dr. Malloy. He kind of took me on his wing. He took me on his wing because at that time, I wasn't old enough to go to school, but I knew my timetables and I was pretty profound in math. So that attracted a lot of people because they say, oh, Miss Warren, boy, he's 5 years old. He know all his timetables. This very house right here, Miss Davis was a school teacher in the country. Because I knew all the timetables before I started the school, she brought me to this house right here. Right here. And look here. They all high yellow people. Look here. I couldn't even come up them steps, huh? She made me sleep in that basement right there. And she had all her friends up here. She did not let this little black kid come up here. But she told her people, I got a little nigga down there that he ain't old enough to go to school. He know all his timetable. So they brought me up here, and oh, this nigga don't know his timetable. So he had to say, what's 6 times 12? And Miss Davis started back and said, I told you he know his timetable.
How did you know your timetable?
Listen to my sister and brother and them learn. And I learned like this. I say, okay, 2 plus 2 is 4. 2 plus 3, 2 more. That's how I learned. 7 plus 1 is 7. 7 plus 2 is 7 more. And I learned like that.
Gotcha.
That's how I learned.
That's how it is for the youngest. The youngest always, if you're sharp and you're the youngest, you can catch some stuff from your older brothers.
Yeah, that's what I used to catch. I used to catch from them.
You gotta be sharp.
You gotta be sharp.
At that age.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Yeah.
So the Davises, that's the same people that did Safe Bus, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the same one. The Morgans and the Davis.
What is Safe Bus?
Safe Bus is the first owned and operated black bus company in the world.
What?
The world. That's what they told us when we were young. I know it's the first owned and operated in the United States.
Yeah.
I know that for a fact. 'Cause I Googled and studied that myself, just to make sure. When Claude Anderson, you remember Claude Anderson, don't you?
Right.
Yeah, he used to go with the lady down the street there, way before he became famous.
Claude Anderson is a professor, right?
Yeah, Claude Anderson is a professor, the one that started talking about doing for self and all that.
He's from right here in Winston-Salem.
He ain't from Winston-Salem, but he used to go with the lady down the street.
But he stayed here.
Yeah. Me and Earl the Pearl had a bet who would make the first million, right? Earl was a basketball star at Winston-Salem State. I was the golf star. I figured I was going to turn pro and make $1 million faster than him, but he beat me. Knicks drafted him, and shit, that first contract, he got millions. So he beat me. I owe him $1 million. I'm gonna pay him, but he won. He made the first $1 million. I ain't made the $1 million yet. I mean,
So
not playing golf, not otherwise either. I probably earned $1 million over all this stuff that I've done,
right.
but to accumulate $1 million, where I could have it like Earl had it, no, I ain't did that yet. Nah, but I'm gonna do it.
I wonder is he still doing good?
Earl?
Yeah.
No, man, he doing excellent. He got a non-profit program. He turned out to be a real good businessman. He surprised me.
Okay.
He got a lot of stock in a lot of companies and stuff. He made millions after basketball.
So you said you was playing golf when he was playing basketball?
Yeah, I won 4 championships in a row. He ain't win but 1 CIAA championship. 1. I won 4.
How you decide to play golf? I mean,
Because niggas was told they couldn't play golf. They were told that you couldn't play golf. It was a white man thing. And I learned how to play golf caddying for white folks. Burns Park.
okay.
And I had one club, a left-handed club. I learned how to play golf left-handed. And then I was caddying for old racist person at Reynolds Park, and he slapped me one time because he ain't tipped but a dime. I said, everybody tip a quarter. He said, nigga, you ever take it down and slap me? I took the clubs and ran all down through, like Reynolds Park, you got to go up through Columbus Terrace and all that. Used to be a big swamp down there. And the average person, they wouldn't go past that swamp because they know water marks and everything there. I ran through the swamp with the golf clubs and come out at Columbus Terrace. That's how I got my first club. I took them. Cracker smacked me. Yeah, I took them. Yeah. So I took them clubs and I learned how to play. Yeah. Then I kept playing like when we was in elementary school, high school. I used to caddy for Science Country Club, Reynolds Park, and that's how I got familiar with golf. And when I was in high school,
somebody was teaching you something, or you just
Lawrence, I taught myself how to play golf. You know how I taught myself how to play golf? I started watching good players, like when I caddied for them, how they held their hands and how their conversation was and everything. I just picked up on it. And the average black person, my age, they didn't even play no golf. Back in them days, I started a whole lot of black people playing golf.
So when you got to state, they said, what made you say you just signed up? Or
No, let me tell you how I got in the state. Well, I got in 1-7 state. A friend of mine named Redbone, James Smith, his daddy bought a brand new Ford, and he let him have it because he was going to 1-7 state to fill out the application to start the college. So I said, Redbone, I ain't never rode in a brand new car. Let me ride with you. He let me ride with him. So we went on 1-7 state, got in the enrollment line. I'm right behind him talking junk, right? So when the lady got to me, she said, are you here to register? I said, no, I'm just with my friend. She said, did you finish high school? I said, yeah, I finished high school. She said, well, why don't you go? I said, I ain't got no money. She said, well, if you can come up with, I think it was $75, and she filled out all the paperwork, you can come out with $75, we can get you enrolled. This lady was helping me like that. So I went home and I told Mama, I said, Mama, they gonna let me in the 1-7 teacher college. She said, boy, you ain't got no money. I said, Mom, I don't need but $75 to just get in. So I messed around and my cousin came, and my cousin gave up 50, and my mama gave up the others. So I went back to school that same day, signed up, got me in school, started school the same time with Redbone now. So when I got to school, they had a canteen and student lounge and all that, and they had ping pong. And I met a guy named Jersey. He was from Jersey. Couldn't nobody beat him playing ping pong. Only guy came close to beating him was Earl. Earl from Jersey and stuff. He knew how to play pretty good. So I used to take Earl and we bet a quarter. Quarter was a lot of money back then. I used to bet a quarter. Jersey beat everybody. So after a while, they started coming to the canteen to see them play table tennis. So I got like a gambling thing going on. So it got back to the counselor, right? And he told me, if you don't stop that gambling down there, we're going to put you out of school. So, we had to stop, right? So now it came in the springtime. Bernard Bell was the #1 guy from D.C. He was thin, but boy, he could hit the golf ball a long way. So I went out for the golf team. I could beat everybody on the team but him. #2 guy, #3 guy, #4 guy, because you can't have a 5 on the team. 4 play, 1 is an alternate. My freshman year, I became an alternate. First year. But yeah, see, I could beat everybody on the team at that time, but Bernard. And after the season started, got a little practice time, shit, I was whooping him.
So who's teaching you? Who's coaching you?
Coach Conrad, the assistant coach to the big time guy, Gaines. Conrad was the golf coach. Gaines was the athletic director. He directed football, basketball, all of it.
He was just a basketball coach?
Yeah, but he was the basketball coach, but he was the AD too. He controlled all the rest of them. Conrad was the golf coach at that time. So Conrad found out that I could really, really play. So he made me the first alternate. And one day, Jelly got hurt. He was the second guy. So they brought Nelson up to the second guy and made me fourth. They put the other guy in third. So the first match I was in, I shot the lowest score. All the number one guys and everything, I shot the lowest score. So they said, who is this guy, Herbert K. Warren? So
people don't know, Lewis is the best.
Yeah, so that's how I got in the golf thing. I'm gonna tell you one day, I got in some trouble, I had to go to court, and we had a match the next day. We going to D.C. to play Howard, and Coach Conrad, had a public record himself, so he read about me, and the trouble I had got into, what I got out of it. He said, was that you ever going? I said, no, man, I think that was my brother. So he didn't question it because we on our way to D.C.,
Who was that?
Coach Conrad. Okay. He was next to Gaines. He was assistant football coach. Now, he was the head football coach at that time, but he also managed the golf team. Okay. So that's how I got in with him, And I can show you the picture down there where I won everything my senior year. CIAA championship, individual championship, most proved player, most one that was seed to the pros and everything.
I'm definitely going down there. I'm going to get all of it. What else you got on that achievement wall?
Well, everybody said I wouldn't graduate because I was a good speller. In order to graduate from college, you got to write a thesis. And my thesis was government. I don't know why I chose government, but I just chose government. I just started writing everything. I thought about the president and every damn thing. And I passed the thesis. Everybody said I wouldn't graduate because I wouldn't be able to pass the thesis because I wasn't a good speller. But evidently, I spelled the words I needed because I graduated. You can check that. And then I started going to, after I came back, I wanted to coach. So they said in order to coach, you had to have a master's, right? So I started A&T working on my master's. And then Big House came back with the record. You ain't nothing but a hoodlum. You got 5 assault charges and all that, which I did.
You was clashing with Big House Gaines?
Yeah, I was clashing with Big House Gaines. You remember the time Earl...
How you feel about you hanging with his main...
Let me tell you. You remember when Earl set the North Carolina record with the 61 points? Me, him, and another guy named Earl Perrier. Earl Perrier was doing his student teaching in High Point, yeah. And me and Earl went to pick him up.
How Big House, if you was hanging with Earl, how Big House Gaines feel about that?
He didn't like it, but he couldn't do nothing about it. But he couldn't do nothing about it because the night Earl set the record at 63, he just did get to the game on time. Me, him, and the other Earl, we were smoking weed, drinking liquor, and celebrating Earl gonna graduate because he did his student teaching and all that. So when we got back in Winston, shit, Earl was high. I know I was high as hell, I ain't gonna lie. The other Earl was high too. So when we pulled up on the front, to let Earl out, although the cars you gotta go parking well. So time Big House seen Earl, he said, get your ass downstairs and change the clothes. I told you about hanging out with that cuckoo. That's what they call me, right? Earl pissed off. He go downstairs, take a shower, put his clothes on, come back up, shoot 6-3. 6-3. That's a record. You think I'm lying? Check
He
it.
broke the record, y'all was hanging.
Yeah. He broke the damn record. We was high as hell that night.
Oh, man.
Game wouldn't even let me in the game. I read it in the paper the next day. Next day, Earl came, told me, he told me, said, man, I felt so good, I thought I couldn't miss. He didn't miss much that night. He didn't. He said a record ain't been broke yet.
Well,
And Brother Louis Farrakhan, I didn't know him personally. Only thing I knew about him was everybody used to say, the violin man. He was the only nigga I ever seen play a violin. That was way before he became the Farrakhan he is now.
he was a Muslim.
I don't even think he was a Muslim then. He was just a violin player from Boston. He was a nigga, high yellow nigga from Boston that played a violin. I ain't never seen a nigga play violin.
Was you a Muslim back then?
No, I was a hooligan back then. I was a hooligan in college. But I learned a lot, though. I learned a lot. I graduated. Everybody said I wouldn't. When I grew up in Happy Hill, I'd be on my way to college, people holler out the window, if you finish, you ain't gonna teach my children. How you would feel going to college? People telling you that, cause you know, when I grew up in Happy Hill, yeah, I was a bad-ass nigga. I ran with the baddest gang it was, the Bellevue gang. Yeah. Shit, Fuzz and them had killed people back then. The gang I was in.
Bellevue.
The Bellevue gang.
Were they from Bellevue?
From Bellevue, this Bellevue. But most of the people, like Fuzz and all them, was from New York and New Jersey. They knew all that big gang stuff. And they brought it down here to us.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What was the day like with the gang?
Man, it was like we pick who we gonna beat up the next day, what we were gonna, go to. Yeah. Shit. Ask Terry Smith. Terry Smith can verify this, because Terry Smith was in the 14th Street gang. We had a shootout in the garden. He had me dead like this. And he didn't shoot me.
Terry Smith.
That same Terry Smith, asked him.
14th Street.
The 14th Street gang is Happy Hill. Terry had me dead in the corner with a gun. He didn't shoot me.
You was at the south side.
I was at the south side. Happy Hill. I was on the nigga in Happy Hill. Happy Hill had a pretty good game, but the baddest game was Bellevue. Fuzz and Allen Lenz and all them. Yeah. They let me in that game. I was in 2 games. Bellevue and Happy Hill. I ran Happy Hill because Happy Hill was cooler than them, and all them guys was kind of younger than me. And I talked them into a game like what Fuzz and them was teaching me in Bellevue.
Yeah.
And didn't nobody mess with us then. They'll tell you. Terry Smith will tell you that.
You talk about Happy Hill.
Happy Hill, the projects, Happy Hill.
I know what it is.
The history of Happy Hill was they gave that little spot to the slaves. If you ride up the freeway right now and look over there at Happy Hill on that hill right there, that used to be black Indians. At that hilltop over there where you can see like you going down there, that was black Indians up there.
At the top of the hill?
Yeah, top of that hill was black Indians.
That's what, if I remember right, that's what the graveyard is.
Yeah. Shorty, I'm in an interview. What's up? Who?
I hit it by accident.
Oh, okay, Shorty. All right.
I'm gonna talk loud,
Okay, I'll talk to you later. Bye. Ain't else no more.
How was that when you won your first championship?
When I won my first championship, it was...
Were you expecting to win?
Yeah, I was expecting to win. Because the school had won 4 in a row. Bernard and them had put 4 in a row in there. When Bernard was a senior, and I won the individual thing when I was Oh, well, you the lowest scorer in the whole CIAA. That means you the best one player in the CIAA, and Winston-Salem State golf team won 8 in a row. But only two people that won the individual championship for Winston-Salem State was me and a guy named Bernard Bell. Yeah.
He was over you. I mean,
he was a senior when I was a freshman. Yeah. He was the best. He was one of the best players I seen in college at that time. Black guy. He was thin. He could hit the ball 250, 275 then. People couldn't believe how far he was hitting the ball, how thin he was. Then they had this other guy named Jelly.
I mean, do you got what makes a good golf a good golfer?
What makes a good golfer, I think, is a person that understands how the swing work and the mentality. You know, I'll give you a good example. The mentality was when Tiger Woods came on the scene. You seen how his mentality was? It was way different than Charlie Sifford, the one who first black guy to ever play on the tour. Tiger Woods played to win, Charlie played to make money. The difference.
What's the difference? The difference is kind of like he'll take more risk.
There you go. You watching golf, you know. You know. And see, the beautiful part about when I lived in L.A., Tiger Woods' dad used to come to Western Avenue where we hustle, all that big-time hustle. He used to brag about how his son was going to be the best in the world. Way before, when Tiger was a little boy and he was in the Army. Yeah, Tiger Woods' daddy used to tell us where all us hustle at in L.A., that his son was going to be the best in the world.
Tell me this right here. So you a golf champion. You winning titles in college.
College.
Could you golf anywhere you wanted to in the city? I mean, could you go?
No, still can't. You still gotta have an invitation to go to the Forsyth Country Club. Unless one of them members say, "Come on, play with me, Herb." I can't do like I go to Winston Lake or Reynolds Park, public golf course.
Right now.
Yeah, I was caddying down in Miami one time. I used to caddy too, because when I used to caddy, like in the tournaments and stuff, I would never get a one bag. Only time I would caddy would be on Wednesday, the Pro-Am. So the Pro-Am, a pro had 3 other people play with them. Most of the time they get rich people to play with them. So I used to caddy for the amateurs, you know. But by me having a lot of knowledge about the game of golf, I'd take them out on the practice range and correct a lot of things before we go out on the golf course. You know what I'm saying? So most of the time, I would have my people, you know, with all them handicaps and stuff, we would win most of the time. And I was down there at Miami Country Club way before Trump ever became famous. And I was coming out of the back, you know, niggas had to go around the back. I went around to the back, you know, to go into the clubhouse, and old Donald Trump was coming out the door at the same time I was. I never forget that face. Never forget that face. I was going in the back door, he was coming out the back door to where the parking lot was. And I looked him right in his eyes. I never forget that face. Never forget that face. And now he's president, probably second time, man.
Yeah.
You know, so
He could have fucked the shit up.
that let you know right there what money can do.
Yeah.
Yeah, he been a little rich boy kid all his life, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he been used to getting what he want.
So did you have money back then when you was in college?
No, I was just a hustler. I could beat just about anybody in town playing pool. So I made a living shooting pool for years.
While you was going to school?
While I was going to school. Used to take Earl with me. Earl could shoot pretty good. I used to take him with me. He used to go with me down to Red Camel everywhere. Shit, Happy Hill everywhere. Man was like that in college.
Yeah. Earl Pearl.
Earl the Pearl.
That's crazy.
Yeah. He'll tell you. Shit. Cuckoo.
Where he stayed?
At that time, he was from Philly. When he first got a scholarship, he lived in Philly. That's how Gaines recruited him from Philadelphia off the playground.
Okay.
You know, and then after that, he moved to Jersey, then to New York. When he started that record company. Yeah, that's where he made most of that money at when he started that.
You don't know none of the people we had?
At the time, he started with some of them rappers. Some of them rappers he started with.
Yeah, I did hear something about that.
Yeah.
I got off again, my battery did.
Yep.
It's all good.
Yep.
You got some good stuff.
Yep. Yep. Okay, the battery did. We can't do too much here, man.
Yep.
But I enjoy this though, Long. You know, telling this story, man. You know, it's enlightening people. You know.
Will, last time I feel like I rushed it a little bit because I was trying to get everything done.
Yeah, I know.
This
I know.
time, see, we didn't even get that far.
No, we didn't. Yeah, take your time, man. You ain't no.
We ain't even got to California yet.
No, we ain't got to that. When you get to that part right there,
Damn. We're gonna do it right.
man, look here. Lawrence, you wouldn't believe the shit I done in L.A. That's why I told you upstairs where I could bag up shit. Man, I would tell you, I took nothing out there and made something. If I'd have went slow, if I'd have went just slow when I had that club and not went fast like I had, I probably been still out there. But I went too fast. I went too fast. I got big too fast, and everybody want to know, who the hell is this nigga named Herb?
Nowhere.
You know, Red Fox sell the damn place, and the other nigga named Herb opened the damn place up. Who the hell is Herb?
These my SneekyVill